Hi, I'm Nicola Cairncross.
Hi, hello, hey, hi.
I'm going to talk to you about success. Yes.
Hi everyone, Nicola here again, and as you can see it's getting a little bit cooler in Stupor by the fact I'm wearing a very thin jumper and a scarf. The scarf's for decoration really, I don't need it to keep warm. Yeah, just wanted to tell you about some exciting things that have happened this week. I've just booked my flights back to England, and so that means I'm going to be in the UK for 3 weeks over Christmas and New Year. In the middle of that I'll be doing my 2-day workshop at Gatwick, which is the first day the Fast Start Masterclass. The second day I'll be covering my Be Everywhere Online programme and outlining everything you can do to be everywhere online in less than 20 minutes a week. That's nearly sold out, so if you are thinking of coming to that, I think there's about 4 more places left. So go to nicolacairncross.com/Cala Workshop, that's CALA-workshop. Just heard from 2 of my clients, actually one of the clients that I went to work with personally back in the last time I was in the UK, which was around June, Angela from Cardiff, who's a singing teacher, and she says she's just finished her first 12 weeks online of following the Be Everywhere Online programme, and she's attracted not just 1 but 2 high-level clients. So she's more than doubled her return on the investment that she paid to get me to come down to Cardiff and spend the day with her and work out her 1-year business plan. So if you like the sound of that, then do get in touch, nicola@nicolacairncross.com, because I will be able to fit a couple of these consulting days in when I'm home over Christmas New Year, and it's tripling your return on investment or doubling your return on investment. I think 1, 2, 3 she's going to triple her return on investment in under 12 weeks. Is not bad going. Yeah, it's been a really busy week in Stupor this week. I've had a Write Club meeting. The first 2 chapters of my new science fiction novel were critiqued. Now when critiquing, you are not critical and harsh about things. You actually pick up on things like point of view changes or past tense that should be present tenses, things like that, and you help the writer become, basically create a better version of their chapters. And you also point out if anything doesn't work for you in terms of the plot or the story or the characterization. It's a really cool way to write a book, getting help from other people, because it means you don't put stuff out that's got glaring errors in it that you can't spot yourself. It's a bit like having 4 or 5 editors on your work. So if you are a writer, why not form a writing club or join a writing club, because it is really good fun and it does help you become a better writer. I've set up a Facebook page to be sharing my novel as I write it, so that's called the Taurus Trilogy, T-O-R-U-S, Taurus Trilogy. Go and search for that and you can follow along and see how I'm getting on. So this week I want to talk about how you know if you're getting anywhere, also known as comparisonitis and the doldrums. So I've had a couple of conversations with clients this week where they felt that they are not necessarily getting anywhere. One, Kate Cocker is my 12-week Be Everywhere Online Challenge client, and she has had to have 2 or 3 weeks out of her own marketing for her own business to work on a documentary. It's a very big documentary for one of the big radio stations, so it's an important bit of work, but she's got 2 small children and a husband, and what with the documentary and all of that going, she's felt she hasn't really done much on her own marketing over the last 3 weeks. And to be honest, I've been so busy here as well that I haven't done an awful lot on her marketing either. But I haven't put out any new tips videos for her, which is the thing that I've got to do very shortly for her. The number, I think we're on to number 5 or 6 now. So she created 9 initially, and then a couple more. So we've actually got the usual 3 months worth of content. But she was feeling that not much was happening, And when we actually got together today and examined the evidence for that, we found out that the ads were still running and the leads were still coming in, and she was getting people filling in her survey, which she didn't know about. So there were several people there that were opening up to her about what their specific problems were in being a radio presenter, and she can now go back to those people and help them, and you never know, some of them might become clients. So the marketing machine has been rolling on without her and rolling on without me, because although I set it up, it doesn't require me to do anything further once it's set up. So it's, even though she felt one thing, i.e. she was in the doldrums with her own marketing, it didn't matter because things were happening despite her. The thing I've been feeling, we had a long conversation last week on the podcast about whether we should keep going with that. So that's episode 156 coming next week. And, we've been doing it. I thought we'd been doing it for 2 years. It turns out we've been doing it for 3 years. So yeah, we were just talking about whether we wanted to keep going with it, and I was particularly despondent because I was hoping that it would have had a hockey stick growth curve by now, and actually all it's had is a very, very slow and steady growth curve. But we realised that it's still going out to between 700 and 1,000 people every week, and that's a lot of people. We're getting to for 1 hour's work and then perhaps 1 hour each extra work on the back of it. So yeah, we reappraised it. We thought, how can we get our download figures up? How can we get just one listener to share it with one other new person, and that would double our listenership? So you've got to keep reappraising your marketing. Judith and I had a meeting on Monday on Zoom, and we talked about how we could improve our marketing of the podcast and how we could recommit to it to keep us going for another year. And hopefully at some point someone will pick it up and we'll have that hockey stick growth I crave so much. But if not, how would it be okay if we just kept growing steadily? So yeah, lots of emotions around marketing, and the one thing you mustn't do is give up in the middle. Angela, my client, who was telling me that she'd pretty much tripled her investment in working with me now in the first 12 weeks of doing what I told her to. It took her a while to get started, but now she's doing it. She actually had 2 of her worst fears happen in the first 2 weeks of doing her Facebook Live singing lessons online, and 2 of the things she was worried about was that one person someone would tell her that she wasn't as expert as she thought she was, that she was talking rubbish, and the other one was how she looked. And we all have a bit of a worry about that. I think unless we look like a sort of supermodel kind of looks, like some people in the personal development space, it's quite hard to put yourself out there and realise that people may criticise your appearance. So in the first week someone told her that she ought to lose some weight, and the second week someone told her that she was talking a load of old rubbish, but she actually knew that person, so she knew that he had an axe to grind. And all of our other viewers jumped to her defence and made him realise that he wasn't welcome there with his trolling, because that's what it's called. When you're thinking about your marketing, when you're actually doing your marketing, there's so many things that can stop you in your tracks. But the one thing for sure is if you don't do your marketing, you won't grow your business. So you've got to find a way to keep going. Whether it's the doldrums and you need to find a way of reconnecting with what you're doing and trust that the process, because it's worked for other people. I mean, I never imagined that I would have a singing teacher as a client when I first started this. I thought all of my clients would be business to business, but it appears that the Be Everywhere online process works just as well for business to consumer too. So don't give up. Work out what you're going to do for the next 12 weeks in your marketing. Stick to it, keep going, even when it seems like nothing's working. And I promise you, if you keep going consistently, you will see some results. I'm going to stop recording there because there's another fighter jet coming apparently. Yep, I'll spare you the sonic boom this time. So on the V-Zine this week, episode 41, I'm talking about how if you're in your early 20s, you've got all the time in the world still. And it's a theme that Gary Vaynerchuk talks about a lot, because it's like everyone feels they're running out of time all the time. And the natural state of an entrepreneur is a state of urgency. You want to do everything right now, all the time, all of it immediately, and you can talk yourself into overwhelm like that. But in the episode 41, I talk about my son Nelson and how how he's looking to find his way in the world, and he feels that he really needs to make some hard decisions now, and I'm trying to encourage him not to. So he left Cubicle Nation after a month or two, and he's now happily ensconced in an organic cafe in Shoreham, where he'll have plenty of time to think about his music and his potential property investing future, and he'll also have plenty of time to work on those things while still earning a decent living and having fun, because it's a nice place. So yeah, it's all worked out. Go and check it out. It's on the blog at nicolacairncross.com/blog. And on the podcast this week, episode 155, we're talking about the fact that we don't really know what to talk about that week. So we talk about how if we were, really coming at it with a new pair of fresh eyes and a new client, how would we get them up online, up and earning money online fast? How would we get their business set up as quickly as possible? Go to ownitthepodcast.com/155 for that episode. Okay, that's it. That's it from me. Actually getting quite hot here. I might have to take my scarf off soon. See you later. We're on episode 156. Damn, that was loud. That was a fighter jet. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia!